Showed up here. But when I showed up here, I had to get in the front door. I had to have 2 canes. I didn't have crutches then, so I had a cane in each hand, and I kind of wobbled, and that's how I showed up 2 years ago. So I've been coming faithfully for 2 years, and first like 3-4 times a week, and slowly, I'm so fortunate that I found Nikitow, because there are chiropractors and more chiropractors, and I've been to chiropractors, and not all of them are Nikitows, and he definitely is here for his patients, and so and he's concerned about his patients, and it makes sense that subluxation or pinched nerves, or if your spine isn't straight, it can short out those nerves, and they don't send messages, and everything comes from our CPU, our brain, and it without those connections, we suffer. So, but I feel so much better in many ways, a lot healthier. So, well, the reason I showed up here two years ago was I was listening to Christian radio as 94.7, and they were talking on 94.7, and their message is health God's way, and that made sense to me. And for quite a while, it had this burning in my right side of my neck, and it just wasn't going away. And they were talking about neck and neck injuries, and that it could have been caused from birth. And thinking, well, see, that strikes a tone. I remember my mother telling me about my birth, and she was in hard labor, I think 3 days to get me here, and I was blue. It was a dry birth, and they used forceps, and they used everything they could to get me out, and they told me that I probably should have been cesarean, but she gave birth to me. She was, my mom had me late in life. She was, I believe, 34 years old when she had me. So I put 2 and 2 together, and I thought, well, this could be the problem with my neck. So if they get that straightened out and get that pain gone, I'd be one happy fellow. Yeah, I had been doctoring some with chiropractors before. I came to find Nikitow, and one chiropractor treated me with a decompression table, and I had lumbar problems, and never ever gave me an adjustment. Just they have to do is they stretch your lower half of your body at your lumbar area. I also went to a chiropractor in South Texas. We wintered in South Texas, and all he did is the feel-good stuff, threw a warm blanket over you and hit you with some shocking things, and really didn't do much. And so I hadn't had very good results from chiropractic treatment before, and I'm so thankful that I did find Dennis Nikitow, because his approach is 100% or 100 degrees or whatever out from everybody else's. He takes x-rays and finds out that your spine has been subluxated, and which subluxation means that it's not straight and it's pinching nerves. And I learned so much from him, because the way he treats, he has 4 tables, in a room, and you don't get treated isolated in one little room. I mean, so you visit, you get acquainted with other patients, and become friends, and it's an entirely like a family atmosphere. I mean, at first it was strange, so, but once you get used to it after a few treatments, it's really kind of a neat setting. So, and he talks to other people, and while he's talking to them, you pick up different things. And the biggest thing I picked up is this head forward deal, where your head's out forward, and your neck, instead of curved, it's kind of straight, and your head hangs over. And so I got to noticing, I have 4 children. My youngest boy, he had rounded shoulders, and his head was forward, and I said, you got to go see Dr. Nikitow. So he fixed him, and then he's got 3 little girls, and they had started scoliosis, and this oldest daughter is almost 6 foot tall, he's like 6 foot. and she's texting, and so she's all bent over and her head's hanging out forward. And so I've got my 3 granddaughters, we got 2 sons, and my daughter here, and my wife here, and my daughter's best friend's husband. In fact, he's out there waiting to get his adjustment right now, and a neighbor, and now my son's girlfriend's parents. I mean, her mother is now coming, so I'm his best advocate. So Dr. Nikitow likes me, and I like him. So anyway. No, I feel so much better. In many ways, I know I still have some problems, but I'm 75 years old, and it took all these years to mess me up. So I'm sure he's not going to get everything fixed in 2 years. Another thing I was wanting to say too, that a lot of people think they're looking for the miracle, right? The one time, one treatment, one pill deal. Doesn't work that way. That's why I'm here. I've been coming faithfully for 2 years. I had some orthodontic work done some years ago because I had some teeth problems, and it took 2 years to move my teeth around my mouth. So I kind of compare it to if you have to move your spine, move things around to get you healthier. It's not going to be a one-trip deal. You got to make a commitment. I've sold I came here first, and then I brought my daughter in. Because she was born with a congenital hip dislocation, they wanted her right hip, and it's like if you don't, she walked on her toe but her leg didn't have a hip socket, so it was just loose. So if she got tired, she'd just walk normally, but then you get the duck walk, If you got it on both sides, you wobble like a duck. But you see people walk like that. So my daughter had, and we didn't catch it until she was 6. And they're supposed to do this frog leg thing when they're born to make sure that the hip sockets are developed. If they don't, they put them in they tie their legs up at night so that it develops a hip socket. Well, then at 30-some, I think 32, she needed a hip replacement. So what she ended up with legs shorter, and her pelvis cocked like this, and her spine was really bent. And so she showed up here, and Dr. Nikitow's got her spine perfectly straight.